A chill wind blows through the corridors of history, secrets long buried claw their way to the surface. Could a book, published in relative obscurity in 2005, hold the key to our present and perhaps our terrifying future? This is not mere speculation. The parallels are too stark, the stakes too impossibly high. We stand on a precipice, the world teetering, and an old text seems to have mapped our descent. It speaks of a leader, a spiritual guide, destined to rise when darkness encroaches. A figure named Leo, the 14th of his name. And now, in 2025, he is here. The manuscript in question, a little-known work titled The Vatican Cipher, was penned by an enigmatic historian who vanished shortly after its release. It wove a tale of geopolitical intrigue, ancient prophecies, and a church facing its ultimate test. Dismissed by mainstream academia as fantastical fiction, its pages described a world consumed by unprecedented crises, ecological disasters, political fragmentation, and a spiritual void. The author claimed his research was based on fragmented scrolls, discovered deep within the Vatican's most secret archives, hinting at a timeline of papal successions that culminated in a figure of immense, almost preternatural power. Could this be the document that charts our current path? Within this chilling narrative, a pope named Leo XIV emerges. He is depicted not merely as a religious figurehead but as a global savior, a man destined to navigate humanity through the storm. The book detailed his characteristics with unnerving precision, a background that bridged nations, a keen intellect, and a profound, almost unsettling understanding of the world's hidden machinations. He was to be a leader for a time of unparalleled chaos, a beacon in an era of encroaching shadows. The fictional Leo XIV was described as possessing a unique ability to unite where others had failed, to speak truth to power when silence was the norm. Fast forward 2 decades. The year is 2025. The world watches, captivated as white smoke billows from the Sistine Chapel. A new pontiff is chosen. His name, Pope Leo XIV. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost of Chicago, an American, now sits upon the throne of St. Peter. The name itself, Leo XIV, echoes directly from the pages of that forgotten 2005 book. Coincidence? Or the chilling click of a prophetic tumbler falling into place? The very air crackles with an unspoken question. Has fiction just become our frightening reality, heralding an age of unprecedented trials? The Vatican Cipher painted its Pope Leo XIV with strokes both heroic and ominous. He was a man of deep faith, yet also one of pragmatic action, unafraid to confront the temporal powers that threatened global stability. The book described him as possessing an unorthodox background, one that gave him a unique perspective on the escalating crises. It spoke of his ability to decipher patterns in the chaos, to see connections that others missed. This fictional pontiff was not just a spiritual guide, he was a strategic mastermind, a figure uniquely equipped to handle the cataclysms the book foretold. He was the lonely sentinel, standing against an impending doom. The global stage depicted in the 2005 text was one of terrifying turmoil. Nations fractured under the weight of ideological extremism. The earth itself seemed to rebel, with natural disasters increasing in frequency and ferocity. Financial markets teetered on the brink of collapse, and a pervasive sense of fear gripped humanity. The fictional narrative detailed how existing global institutions proved powerless, their mechanisms too slow, too compromised to address the rapidly escalating threats. It was a world crying out for a leader of singular vision and unwavering resolve, a world teetering on the very edge, desperate for a guiding hand through the maelstrom. According to the prophecy embedded within the Vatican Cipher, this Pope Leo XIV was destined to broker peace among warring factions. He would challenge the corrupt and the powerful, exposing secrets that could topple empires. His mission was to restore hope, to rebuild trust, and to guide humanity away from the abyss. The book even hinted at a controversial alliance, a joining of spiritual and temporal power unlike anything seen in modern history, all orchestrated by this singular pope to combat the forces of darkness. His task was monumental, the salvation of a world spiraling towards its end. The emergence of a real Pope Leo XIV in 2025, precisely 2 decades after the book's publication, sends shivers down the spine. Is it possible that the author of the Vatican Cipher stumbled upon a genuine prophecy, a hidden timeline known only to a select few? The fictional pope was characterized by his ability to solve what seemed unsolvable. Now, as Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost takes the papal name Leo XIV, the world holds its breath. Are the global catastrophes described in the book mere fiction, or are they the challenges that await this new pontiff, the very crises his fictional counterpart was destined to confront? The man who now bears the name Pope Leo XIV is Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost. His story is remarkable, even without the prophetic overtones. He is the first pope from the United States of America, a fact that resonates deeply in a world where American influence remains a potent force. Hailing from Chicago, Illinois, his background is a tapestry of pastoral work and significant Vatican appointments, including head of the dicastery for bishops. He is a man of the modern world, yet now he steps into a role steeped in ancient tradition and perhaps ancient prophecy. His election on or around May 8, 2025, was a moment broadcast globally, yet few knew the deeper echoes it carried. The year 2005, the very year the Vatican cipher was published, holds peculiar significance for Prevost. It was in 2005 that, as Father Robert Prevost, he attended Game 1 of the World Series, cheering for his beloved Chicago White Sox. A mural commemorating this event was recently unveiled near where he sat, a seemingly innocuous detail, yet one that ties him directly to that prophetic year. Even more astonishing, his friend Ed Schmidt, who accompanied him to that game, reportedly predicted back in 2005 that Prevost would one day become pope. Another coincidence? Or a thread in a larger, more intricate design? That same year, 2005, he also received an honorary degree, another marker in a year of foreshadowing. The choice of the papal name Leo is itself laden with historical weight. There have been 13 popes named Leo before him, many of whom reigned during pivotal, often turbulent periods in church and world history. Pope Leo I, for instance, famously persuaded Attila the Hun to turn back from his invasion of Italy. Pope Leo III crowned Charlemagne, forging a powerful alliance. Pope Leo XIII in the late 19th and early 20th centuries addressed the challenges of industrialization with landmark encyclicals. The name Leo, meaning lion, evokes strength, courage, and leadership qualities the world desperately needs, and qualities the fictional Leo XIV possessed in abundance. In his first address to the world, the newly elected Pope Leo XIV spoke of peace, unity, and the importance of missionary activity. He called for dialogue and for Catholics to live as missionaries in their daily lives. These are noble aspirations, fitting for any new pontiff. Yet, in the shadow of the Vatican cipher, these words take on a more urgent hue. Is this the calm before the storm described in the book? Is his call for unity a prelude to the monumental task of reconciliation that the fictional Leo XIV was destined to undertake? The parallels are becoming too numerous, too specific to easily dismiss. The election of an American pope, Leo XIV, inevitably casts a spotlight on the relationship between the Vatican and the United States. This is more than just a diplomatic curiosity, it's a convergence of two immense global influences. The Vatican cipher hinted at such a powerful, almost unprecedented alliance being crucial for the fictional Leo XIV to steer humanity away from disaster. Could the real Pope Leo XIV, with his American roots and reported history of voting in Republican primaries, be the figure to forge such a bond? A bond deemed necessary by a forgotten prophecy to face an existential threat? The very idea is staggering. Whispers of end-of-time scenarios, once relegated to the fringes, now find a more receptive, if anxious, audience. Global instability, the undeniable shifts in climate, and a pervasive sense of uncertainty create fertile ground for such anxieties. When a book, seemingly an obscure piece of fiction from 2 decades prior, appears to predict the rise of a specific papal figure set to tackle such crises, it's difficult not to feel a sense of unease. The dramatic tone is not manufactured. It arises naturally from the unsettling alignment of fiction and reality. Are we merely observing a string of extraordinary coincidences, or are we witnessing the unfolding of a pre-written script? Consider the signs. The 2005 book, the fictional Pope Leo XIV, the real Pope Leo XIV emerging in 2025, his American nationality, the specific links to the year 2005 in his personal history, the World Series game, his friend's uncanny prediction, the honorary degree. Even the Chicago White Sox, a sports team, now plays a small role in this unfolding narrative with their commemorative mural. These are not hidden symbols deciphered by esoteric scholars, they are public facts, aligning in a pattern that grows more compelling and more disturbing with each corresponding detail. Each piece clicks into place with a disquieting precision. Ultimately, one is left to ponder the nature of prophecy itself. Is it a glimpse into a fixed future, or a warning that allows for deviation? If the Vatican cipher did indeed tap into some genuine foreknowledge, does the emergence of Pope Leo XIV signal the beginning of the end, or the arrival of a leader uniquely equipped for the trials ahead? The answers remain veiled, hidden in the mists of time and interpretation. But as the world watches this new pontiff, one cannot shake the feeling that we are living through events foretold, standing on the threshold of an era that will define humanity's destiny. The clock is ticking.